Thank you all for coming this morning. It is 9 o'clock. I am calling the July 30th meeting of the San Luis Obispo County Planning Commission to order. There are still several seats scattered around in the front and throughout the center of the room, so those of you who want to find a seat, please feel free to do so. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Christensen?
Here.
Commissioner Wyatt?
Here.
Commissioner Melskow?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
Chairperson Christie?
Here. Would everybody please join us for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on our agenda, as always, is general public comment. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the Commission for any item that is not on today's agenda. If you'd like to do that, there's a speaker slip at the back of the room, and our first speaker is Mr. Eric Greening, followed by Andy Caldwell. Welcome, Eric Greening. As always, you have 3 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you. I am Eric Greening, and once again, we are reacting to the cluelessness in Sacramento. It's going to be hard to not just vent, but obviously there are some policy questions here. Our governor did something that was very easy for him. He took a pen and he just went with a very important part of the state budget prior to signing it, namely the Williamson Act subventions to the counties. It may seem easy for him. All his life there has been food on his plate that has appeared from somewhere. He probably has not gotten to know many of the people who are actually involved with producing the food that gets onto his plate. He hasn't had to, but in any event, he just wiped out our county's main program for protecting the agricultural production in our county. And so one of two things is going to be happening. Either, and this is at the feet of the board, not of yourselves, but you advise the board, and you may want to get into the loop. They're either going to have to find the money somewhere, or they're going to have to figure out what to do next. And what to do next is not easy because these are contracts. They were arrived at in good faith with both parties to the contracts, the agricultural landowners and the county. They were signed in good faith with both parties to the contract. I hope that they can find the money somewhere to make up for the hole that the state is leaving us with, but I'm not sure quite where, whether this is more children being denied health care or more roads allowed to deteriorate or what it's going to be. Obviously, we need to be heard from loud and clear that this is completely unacceptable. If this veto can be overridden, perhaps getting in touch with enough legislators to actually pull off such an override could help. But in the meantime, it might not be a bad idea at your next planning staff updates to ask for a report on what are the implications and next steps of this, and whether there's anything you can do collectively or individually to protect this program that is so easy to take a pen and scratch out, but that required so much work to build and is essentially keeping the food on everyone's plates, even the governor's. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greening. Andy Caldwell is our next speaker, followed by Mary Fullwood. Welcome, Mr. Caldwell. You have 3 minutes.
Chairman Christie, members of the Commission, I am Andy Caldwell representing CoLab. I want to talk about some of the values and priorities of the policies that have been under your consideration over the last few weeks and over the next couple of months that deal with concepts and that are at times in conflict, or values or priorities that are at times in conflict. And yet it seems that the Commission and even the documents that you're reviewing understate the conflict. specifically the conflict between the concepts of open space versus agriculturally zoned properties. A lot of people look at property that's either undeveloped or left in a primarily rural state as open space, and they view that or value that akin to parkland. But in reality, these ag zone properties belong to somebody. They are somebody's private property. They are somebody's investment. And in many cases, they are someone's business. And this doesn't seem to this message doesn't seem to get through in your staff reports or in your deliberations as much as it should, in our opinion. And let me focus on one specific example. Your policies are calling for the creation of major ecosystem networks, contiguous wildlife corridors, nature preserves, etc., and there's this viewpoint that this melds really good with agriculture. But the fact is there's major concerns with respect to food safety, that animals are attracted to what is called an attractive nuisance, i.e. riparian corridors, major strands or groves of trees, and or brush left in its wild state. And these animals that are attracted to this region then often wander into fields, they defecate in these fields, and the buyers of produce can reject an entire field or an entire crop based on the perception or the threat of impacts to food safety. And in some cases, buyers are requiring that these fields be entirely fenced off and all brush and habitat be removed within the vicinity, or they won't even buy from this grower. And this is something that your commission has to come to grips with, because in some cases, you are going to kill the agricultural economy in this region in your desire to basically transform these ag lands into parkland. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. Mary Fullwood, followed by C.Z. Whitney.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Mary Fullwood, the Los Osos representative for SLB Surfrider and the Sierra Club representative on the Marine Interest Group. I'd like to get clarification on what happened at the end of your last meeting regarding the Los Osos wastewater project. We heard Commissioner Bruce White say on May 28th, why is step stag off the table when it is sealed, shallower trenches beneficial to the Chumash? And Commissioner Ann Wyatt say on June 29th, step could work. I don't want to rule it out if we can work with the environmental documents already before us. Chairwoman Sarah Christie say on June 29th that we should allow STEP to be a viable option within the design-build process. And Commissioner Eugene Melshow say on July 24th, I would like to see that STEP is advanced if it's possible. County Public Works Environmental Director Mark Hutchinson confirmed that the Planning Commission could permit the project with the option for STEP. Matt Jansen confirmed that it is doable. So why wasn't it done? Why wasn't its evaluation advanced to the RFP design-build process? California Coastal Commission Executive Director Peter Douglas stated in this room, July 9th, speaking to the coastal commissioners, that the county needs to more fully address 5 issues, including collection system benefits. He said the LOWWP is before the Planning Commission right now, and if they don't address these issues and it comes here, we won't be able to approve without these elements that are essential. We don't want to deal with a train wreck when it comes here. We know Los Osos residents' #1 concern is cost. Dana Ripley told this commission that there would be, with step collection, at minimum a 30% reduction in collection costs, a 20% reduction in treatment costs when compared to gravity collection with treatment with the conditioned 12% fusion sealing of pipes. Why are we not verifying this statement via the bidding process? I repeat, Commissioner Ann Wyatt said STEP could work. I don't want to rule it out on June 29th, and then ruled it out on July 24th. And this was after Mr. Hutchinson confirmed that the Planning Commission could simply permit the project with the option for STEP, and Mr. Jansen confirmed that this is doable. So why wasn't it done? Why didn't the Commission require that the RFP design-build process be allowed to do what it is designed to do? Thank you very much.